So to begin, we're going to need 16 pieces of even size flax, 8 pegs, and a blunt old kitchen knife. So to soften the flax, we're going to scrape the dull side against the knife like so. This just makes it a little bit more pliable and draws out a little bit of the moisture to make it easier to weave with. This is called hapeni. Cool, so working on a nice flat surface, we're going to add the first strip down, dull side up. Okay, cool, so now we're going to place on our horizontal strip in the center, right on top of the first vertical strip. We're going to alternate between vertical and horizontal, adding in one strip at a time. The next vertical strip will sit on top of the horizontal one next to the first vertical strip. Next we're going to add in our next horizontal strip. To do so, we need to prepare for it. So we need to fold up this vertical strip that is sitting underneath the first horizontal strip and add in our second one on top. Remember, dull side facing up and pull the strip back down. Working clockwise around the square, we're going to grab the next strip that is sitting underneath, fold it back, add in the third vertical strip, place it on top, and fold back the horizontal strip. So we're just slowly working our way around. Next we're going to fold down these two, because they're the ones that are sitting underneath. 1 and 2, just slowly taking your time and keeping the tension. Adding in the next horizontal strip on top, and remembering to flick them back up. So it's same on this side, fold back these two, add in the next vertical strip, and just slowly make your way around, making sure that everything is balanced and there is an even amount of harakeke on each side. When all of your strips are added in, add a peg to each corner to help keep the tension. Make sure you use pegs with a good grip, as they need to stay in place to hold the tension of the harakeke. Cool, now that you've got your pegs on, just make sure that you've got an even amount of flax on each of the 4 sides. Cool, so now we're going to make our corners of the basket. Just double check that you've got 8 pieces of flax. Grab the 2 in the center, these will cross over and become the corner. The strip that is sitting underneath the piece of flax always comes up first and crosses over, and then the second strip will cross over on top of that. Since the first strip we crossed over came from the right, the next strip we'll add in will come from the right and go over the strip from the left. So the strips that are crossing over from the right are now pointing up to the left, and the strips that we're adding in from the left are now pointing up to the right, like a V or an X shape. Just adding them in one at a time, under over or over under, whatever is suitable. Just making sure that you're only adding in one strip at a time and really taking the time out to make sure that both sides are even. Cool, now adding in the 4th strip from the right to the left and the 4th strip from the left up to the right. Now we've made one side of the corner and built up the corner. Just double check that there are 4 going to the left and 4 going to the right. When you've done that, add a peg on the top in the center. You are going to repeat this on the next side, making sure that you're only working in between the 2 pink pegs and counting your strips every time, making sure that you always get the 2 in the center to cross over and to make your corner. Just like before, grab the one that is underneath up first and cross it over. Next, do the same. Again, grab from the right. And just like before, weaving your way up gradually, doing one strip at a time, keeping your tension, but don't pull too tight. Keeping those corner pegs in place. and pin the top. Slowly work your way around. As you can see, it starts to get a little bit tricky as we make our way around. Just make sure that you're always counting 8 before you begin, and grab the 2 in the center, and the first one that folds up is the one that's lying underneath. Cross them over and then add in your 4 sides. Last side, 2 in the center, cross over, and just like before, adding in 1 strip at a time, keeping that tension but not pulling them too tight. Cool, now that all 4 sides are done and all pegs are still sitting in the right places, just double check it over, make sure the tension's not too tight or not too loose. Check your corners, check your base. Cool, now I think we're ready to move on to the next step, which is filling in the sides. Cool, so starting at one of the green pegs, we're going to be weaving in the strips going up to the left by pulling down the strips that go up to the right. So it's just like how we did before, the takitahi, which is over 1, under 1. We're going to fill in this first gap here by pulling down every second strip. So this strip goes down and this strip goes down, preparing a space for this strip to then come over, sit on the top, shimmy it into place a little bit, and then pull this one up, push that one down, next one goes up, and the last one will go down, and this will be the beginning of our ara. So ara means pathway, and it is always the top of our basket, just to keep it the same height all the way through. So we've prepared a space for our next strip to then come over, sit on the top as before, down, up, down, and then we're at ara again. We're at that same height as the peg to the left. As you can see, it's starting to form a little arrow. Prepare to the next space, up, down, there's ara, tucking it in all nice and neat, and this last strip here we just flick it over and down for ara. So now we have 4 consecutive strips in a row at the same height. Peg it there, and now we're at the next side, which is the exact same as where we started before. So just shimmying all the pieces into place, down, this one goes down, grabbing this piece here, place it on the top, and then just getting back into that same rhythm, up, down, down for ara, and next one, down, up, and down for ara again. So just continue your way around the basket slowly till you get the hang of it. It can be quite confusing, especially with ara at the top. Feel free to use more pegs if you feel like it can help you get more of a control of it. But the key is just to work slowly and to make sure each piece is going under, over in the takitahi sequence. It can be really confusing in the beginning, but once you get a rhythm for it, it just starts to come naturally. Cool, so now that we've made our way all around the basket and our ara is sitting all at the same height, just double check it, Looking good. Okay, now we're ready for lock off. This is where it's going to get quite complicated, so you might want to take it slow for this next step. So to begin what we call a double lock off, we're going to start at one of these other points. So remove the green peg and flick this piece up. This becomes number 1. The piece to the right becomes number 2, which is down. Right to the right again, up, and we're going to have to pull this little bit out here down. So it's similar to what we were doing before with the 4 strips up, down, and weaving in. So we're going to grab the strips that go up to the left, place it onto the top like that, and what we're going to do here is twist these over each other. So this strip here, we're going to bend down, firmly bend it down onto itself like that, and hold it into place. Now we're going to grab this next strip here and bend it down over the top of the strip we just did. Now these strips that are lying down, we're going to pull them up 1, grab that strip from underneath, 2, pull the strip up, 3, and we need a number 4, so we're going to have to pull this bit up out of here, move that peg, just flick it around, 4. So now I've got 4 on a line just like before, grabbing the strip that points up to the left, placing it on the top, holding it in place, grabbing this strip, bending it down firmly, then folding the next one down on top like that, just gently but firmly. Pull this one up, next one goes down, next one goes up, and then you need another one to go down on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull the strip, put it on the top, and same again. Fold it over, gently into place. Next one, fold that one on top, and then continue the same pattern all the way around. It can be very confusing. Lock off is where a lot of people get stuck, but it is a really nice way to finish off your kono. As you get closer to the end, you start running out of pieces to fold down. That's okay, just keep continuing the same pattern and then tuck the rest of the bits in later. Cool, now we're almost done. We just need to tidy it up a wee bit. You can cut off all the loose ends or you can turn them into tassels. Do what you like, it's your kono. Mauri ora.